Hi, so I'm coming out of surgery recovery and end of the semester assignments completing mode because of something important that's happening tomorrow. And hopefully, as many people as possible can participate in it. It's called Mayday Strong. And basically, what it is a strike or a protest against billionaires being favored over the rest of us. And so for May Day, the idea is no shopping, no work, no school. That's not always an easy thing for people to do when they are dependent on the income that they make from their jobs. And so while not everyone can avoid work or school, there are lots of different things that we can do to make our displeasure with the maladministration known. Even though it'll probably be underreported and ignored, it still feels good to take part in some kind of a protest anyway. Some of the things that you can do if you're not able to stay home from work, you can certainly on your lunch break make a call to your senator or representative to express your feelings. And there are so many feelings to be had. This has been day after day after day, an onslaught of chaos and horror and craziness. The most disgusting thing that happened recently was this silent docket that Roberts, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the corrupted Supreme Court, he likes to use these shadow dockets to be able to pass the most horrible decisions you can imagine without having to explain any of them. So, yesterday, there was yet another one of these dockets, and what it basically does is gut the rest of the Voters Act from 1965. And that really is just another thing uh, that I feel aggravated about. I remember when the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1965, thanks to President Johnson pushing uh, President Kennedy's agenda ahead. So the Civil Rights Act passed, and there was a whole bunch of other social programs that were enacted as well that made lives better. That didn't make lives perfect, but made lives better. And in this case, the Civil Rights Act was passed after some really pretty brutal attacks on civil rights protesters. It was peacefully protesting, just marching and not causing any trouble. But the violence, the dogs and the hoses and the clubs that were used on protesters was just sickening to watch. And I think the thing that really uh, did it and got the act passed was what happened at the Edmund Pettus Bridge on what is now known as our Bloody Sunday. And then these people in the maladministration and the convicted felon are bound and determined to bring us back to some pretty bad old days. And in fact, from everything the convicted felon has been spouting, he would like to make the United States white only. I don't know how he figures he can accomplish that, but there you go. I mean, he pretty much flat out said it when King Charles was here visiting. He gave this long, rambling speech. It was basically like Nazi Germany's blood and soil, you know. They get a lot of publicity. The so called Christian nationalists, the racists, the bigots, the evil people, they get a lot of publicity. And the good work goes pretty much unrecognized. Well, that's to be expected. But please know that it's going on. I mean, the polls show that people do not want what this government is doing. They do not want war. They do not want families ripped apart and people shot and killed on the streets by criminal ICE. You know, it's all got to stop. But it's not going to happen in 1 minute because these people, these evil people, are still in control. And while I still continue to wonder why it is Congress can't do anything to try and stop this, I just know it's up to us. It's up to us to keep doing what we can to make our views known. Originally, when I came back to Substack, I was going to post all about my wonderful surgery and recovery and some other things, but all of the things that I would like to talk about or write about tend to get swallowed up with more of this bullshit. And it is stinky, evil bullshit in Washington right now. Instead of draining the swamp, these people have added to it and made it overflow. So it's like this garbage stink is reaching out all over and will be in the South now, thanks to Roberts and all those ass kissing conservative judges on the Supreme Court. I'm mad as hell. I am mad as hell, and I am weary to the bone. Because we have so much going on. Ted and I are both still recovering from our surgeries. We are under severe and dire financial circumstances. And then this. And it is just getting worse. The only thing I can say for sure is that we're not alone. I feel the Holy Spirit. I feel God and I feel Jesus. So, one way or another, I know Ted and I will be okay because we have our faith to fall back on. But as for other people who are going to be losing their health insurance, losing their homes, losing their access to food, I don't know. All we can do is pray for them and pray for MAGA to continue unraveling just as fast as it can to hopefully bring this evil regime to a close soon. So I may come back later. I may do yet another post. I may add some happy pictures from the weekends before. And maybe I'll even show you what my hand looks like under this brace. Anyway, don't give up. Make phone calls, sign petitions, send postcards, stay home from shopping, If you can afford to stay home from work, and if you can skip school, by all means, skip a day. It's not going to hurt. And I know the seniors in high school would really appreciate a senior skip day. Not that I'm trying to encourage any of this behavior. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a little bit buzzed. So now that I'm beginning to ramble, I think I had better stop.